Hey guys, welcome back to our fourth part of the Windows Virtual Desktop deployment tutorial. Before we start with the FSLogix, in some of FSLogix, I want to show you something that you can adjust in the host pool settings. In the RDP properties, you could alter the session behavior things, like the reconnection settings, like the bandwidth, the network auto detect, the compression of RDP, and the video playback. Also, you can redirect audio and video. So if you don't want to put the streams, if you don't want to stream your local audio to Teams and then from there to the other users, you can use your local device to stream to the session you want to put the stream to. And you can do this with microphone and video redirection. And also you can encode the video quality. You can set it to high compression video, medium compression or low compression. This has the best picture quality. And you can set the also the audio output location so that the audio will be played on the local computer or does not play any sounds. Also, you can adjust the display settings, so that you can use multiple displays. You can select monitors. You can maximize to current displays. You have the option to multi to single display switch. You can select the stream mode, smart sizing. So if you want to resize the screen, then it fits everything that's in the screen fits the window if you resize that. And then you can choose dynamic resolution and you can set the standard desktop size. Resolution. So, and the last option is the advanced one, where we can set some RDP properties. If we go to the properties section, what you can do is you can switch from validation environment back to standard. You can add the friendly name. You can adjust that. Remember, this is the settings that you could find in here. This is what we defined before, the friendly name. And the default desktop. And you can set the session limit. If you want to resize the VMs, you can do that here. And also you can set the load balancer. You can reset the load balancing settings from depth first to breadth first. So this is something you can do here. What can you do on with the host pools? I was showing you before is, where are they? Let's go to the session hosts. What I did, I was switching all of these one into drain mode, so I'm not able to connect to these ones anymore. So as you saw in the first video, our Windows Virtual Desktop user 1 was connecting to this machine. So drain mode is on this, and on this machine. So the next time we connect to our environment, he should join to this machine here. Also, you can remove these machines here, or you can change the drain mode in here. So this is everything that you can do on these machines. Okay, so the next step is we want to put our user profiles into roaming mode, and therefore we use FSLogix. And what we're doing here is we want to use Azure Files for storing our profile. So there's another options you can choose. You can for sure run another VM as a file server and create your share there, and then your user data will be stored there. This is possible. It's not a problem. But then you have to pay for another server, and you have to maintain the server. So this is not the best option to go with. Then there is the option to use NetApp. This is a really fast and responsible storage that you can buy in Azure, or that you can use in Azure, but the minimum of amount of data that you have to buy is 4 terabytes. So if you have really a lot of users, then you can go with this one. It's a really good option, but for us the best option will be Azure Files. And remember, on Azure Files we wanted to use the premium storage. So what are we doing? How are we able to connect our domain and the user profiles to the storage account? The storage account itself is really just a storage account, so it doesn't know about the domain. and it doesn't know even more about our users and the user profiles. So how do we put the profiles in there and make them accessible from our users? So therefore, we have to use a machine that has to be connected to our domain. It has to be domain joined. So it can be a jump server or a domain within the server, or we can just go on the domain controller that we already are running. Another thing I want to show you, the machines that we already select for the host pool 1 are now being displayed in here. So you can see all the machines that have been added to the host pool. So these are the machines that are running the session hosts. Okay, so how are we doing this? This is at the moment not possible to do via the graphical user interface. So we have to run PowerShell for that. And we created 3 scripts that we will run, and that will help us creating the storage account and connect the storage account to the AD and put our data in there. So what we want to do is we want to run the PowerShell ISE, and then we go step by step through the script. So I explain what's happening in there. It's not that easy. So I'm going to explain what happens there. So the first one can be run on the jump host or in an app inbox or on the domain controller. At first, what we want to do is we want to install the Azure PowerShell module. So we are able to use the Azure PowerShell modules to use the Azure the AZ module. Then we are installing the NuGet package provider to we're able to load the scripts that are provided by the Azure Files team that makes it possible to connect it to our Active Directory. What are we doing next? We are downloading a few samples, and we are using this file. You can see that here. This is the AZ Files hybrid use that we want to use. So we use this one, what is in here, and we make we download the scripts in here and execute that to prepare everything for our next step. So we just let them run step by step here. Okay, we go with a run script in here. Just let it run. It shouldn't take too long, but it's downloading a few things. So this is the first package that it downloads. This is the NuGet. Click here, yes. The whole download process will take about 3 to 5 minutes. So installment of every package will be done, and the downloading of every prerequisites that we need to set up the environment. In the meantime, we can have a look at our second script. Let me download Notepad++ for it to make it visible for you, what's in there and what it contains. So what does the next script do? It will configure Azure files in your subscription for the AD authentication. And we run this on the domain member server or the domain controller. So what we're doing, we connect to our account. Then we select our subscription that we want to deploy to. Then we choose our resource group. And then we create a new storage account. And what you can see is here, the name for the storage account is hard-coded. It will be called WVD profiles. And we get a random number. Why that? Because the storage accounts are unique, and you can just use the numbers once. And what are we doing next? We are using premium LRS storage. Why are we doing this? I mean, it's pretty expensive, but it has the best performance for us. And if we connect to our machines, and these user accounts will be connected to the hosts, loading up of our profile will take 5 to 10 seconds maximum. Definitely, this is really a fast loading time. You can't get that with a normal server unless it's really, really fast. And what we're doing, we're putting it in the resource group local location, and the kind of it is file storage. So this is Azure files. Then we have the file share name. This is WVD profiles. And then we create the share and set the quota. So with this command, we create this the storage account, and it will be set to 100 gigabyte. You can alter this for your needs. In this example that we had, we were aiming for 125 gigabytes of storage account, so we can alter the value or just leave it like it is. It should be enough for carrying these users. So, but you can definitely go there and alter the value after that. So this you can do every of these steps. You can do this via the GUI. You don't have to go with the script, but you definitely want to go with automation sometime. And if you're going with automation, then you can use the scripts already. It's working pretty good. So what's next? We have to define the parameters and for the storage account. And then we have to put in the organization unit there. This is the WVD. And this is getting all the users from the group and everything that's in there. So next is we have to register the target storage account with the Active Directory environment. And therefore we are importing the modules that we are downloading right now. Then we use the service account, and we create an account in Active Directory for that. So this is the join AZ storage account for authentication. So we are joining our storage account to our Active Directory. Then we are checking if it's working, and we can list the directory domain information there. And the last what we do is we clean up a little bit. So we remove something that's already in there. So the last thing that we do is now we will set the AD permissions on the storage account. So we need that to make the users contribute on that. So normally, if you know, the Azure file storage or the Azure files will only be used by the Azure admin account. This is one user that can use it. So make it accessible for other users. We have to build this contributor role, and we have to add the WVD users to this group to make them use this account. And at last but not least, we're removing all the existing permissions. So what we want to use is we just want to give them read and write roles on their own account, for their own storage account, and for their own profile they want to use. We don't want any other users to look into the account of the other users. So to make it possible, we are removing everything else that's not really important, and it's not a basic for using the roles. As the last step, we add the read and write on the parent folders. This is required for FSLogix, and that's it for setting up the FSLogix. One last thing: make sure that you have connection to port 445 But if you run your machine in Azure and there's nothing specified that port 445 outgoing is not working, then everything else is fine. Okay, the last script, there's 3 scripts altogether, and the last one is only there for leveraging FSLogix, but we do this on the local machine then that we want to use. So let's see how far we are. So looks fine. Everything seems to be downloaded already. See if there's anything red. No, it's not. So we're pretty fine with this. We exit this one. So now we're running script number 2, and we do this step by step so that we can see what happens in the background, and I will explain a little bit about that. Well, the first thing is we're going to connect to our account. We're picking our administrator and putting in our password. Then we have to enter multi-factor again. So we are connected to our account that we want to use. Next is we want to select the right subscription for us. This is this one. And then we're going to create the file share and premium storage. What you can see here, we choosing the random number for the storage account for WD profiles, and then we get a random number, premium storage, and the kind is Azure file storage. So we take this one and execute that. Inside, we will create the file share WD profiles. Let's go with this and make sure that we select the WD host pool number 1. We can also use this one, but to make it fit to and have everything complete in one folder, then we should go with the host pool one. This is the resource group that we choose for our host pool. So what it does in the background, it's creating the storage account now, and it's creating it with premium alias storage and as Azure file storage, and we're adding also a file share name that's called WD profiles. So let's check what's happening in the background. Just heading to the portal, and this is our storage accounts in here. Let's refresh. Nothing happened until now. It should be there in a few seconds. Everything is running fine. Let's see if something, okay, should be fine. Let's go back and check if it's there. Here it is. It's the WD profiles, and the random number is 5852. We go in there and we can see that it created Azure file share, and that's it. So everything else is there. Okay, so we continue with the script. Now we create the file share. And we set the storage account quota and the properties. So you can see now there should be the workplace there with 100 gigabyte of data. Let's check if everything is done correctly. We can refresh this, and there we go. This is the WD profiles folder. This is the file share. And you can see we provisioned 100 gigabytes of data. You can alter the size here and change the performance also. So you can easily change that to 125 or 150. Depends how much you want to use. So, but we don't alter this. This we use it like it is. So let's go back to the script. So next thing we're going to do is we define the parameters. The subscription ID, and be sure that you put in the organization unit that you defined on the domain controller. So let's go with this. Now we have to register the target storage account with the Active Directory environment. And therefore, we're importing the module that we downloaded before. And after that, we have to join the storage account for authentication with the Active Directory. This takes a few seconds. Here we go. We can see this is the storage account name that belongs to WVD host pool number 1 in West Europe, primary LIS storage, and its file storage, and provisioning status succeeded. That's perfect. Like we need to do to use this. Then we check if everything is all right, and we list the Active Directory and the directory domain information of this storage account right now. So it looks like this. Everything is okay. You can see the domain the storage account belongs to, the domain GUID, and the domain SID, and the storage accounts. This is the storage account keys. So next thing is we are setting the storage account and set the flag there. And now we will set the ID permissions on the storage account. Just go here and add the contributor roles. Then we have to add a scope. And be sure right here that you have the display name is the name of the users that you want to join. This is the ones that we used for the creation of the host pool. This is the users that you can see in here. If you go to the Azure Active Directory, it's the ones that we already connected to the WVD environment. It's these users, and these users are in this WVD users group that we imported from our domain controller. So just mark this and be sure if you name it different, then change this value in here, otherwise the script will fail. Run this. Now we get we create the file contributor role and assign it to the user group. And now we are mounting the storage account key and applying the ntfs permissions with this one. So what you can see now, we mounted drive number X, and this is the file system, and this is the WVD profiles folder, and it points to the Azure files. Last thing is remove all the unnecessary permissions and add the read and write on parent folder. Apply this at once. After that, our storage account is now ready for our user profiles. So the last step we have to do is we have to install FSLogix on the machine and on the host pool machines itself. So if you don't want to use or don't want to go to every host pool and do the steps there, you can install FSLogix once, configure it with everything you want to have there, and then you can sysprep and generalize it and use this as a master image. So every machine that will be wrote out in the host pool will be using. Oh, there's a typo in there. Sorry, guys. Just quit that. and mounted this drive as X. So this is not working. Just copy that. Nope, I don't want to save this. Let's start this again. Put it in here and run it. So everything's fine now. So let's check if everything went fine. Going back to the Azure portal. And then we are looking at the storage accounts, our WD profiles folder. And then we go to file shares, and you can see the WD profiles in here. And then you can see the access IAM controls. So we should see all the users that have been synced in here. It's WD folders, and this is perfectly fine like this. So next step is we have to connect with the one of the host pools, one of the host pool machines, and we have to download and install the FSLogix itself. So we have to make sure that we have the right public IP address. It's this one for the first machine. So what we do is we connect from the domain controller directly to the host pool machine. Use this IP address, enter our password, and now we connect as domain administrator on this machine. And what we want to do now is we want to run script number 3. That's downloading everything and installing everything. So this is our last script. What we see here, it's downloading FSLogix. Downloads it to the home pass downloads FSLogix zip. Then it unzips it. And then it's creating everything that we need in the registry. So FSLogix is being configured through the registry. So there are a few values that you can set here. So this is a preset that you need, and what you need is the storage account name later. Then you have to decide if you're going to use VHD or VHDX. You have to configure the size of the storage account, or for the profile for the user. That is at the moment it's 30,000 megabytes, and that's it. So you can set it with there's some tool that you can use if you don't want to mess around with the registry itself, or don't want to enter the values by hand. Then you can use the script, or you can use this tool. I can show you later where you can find that. So we mark everything, copy it, then we go back to our machine. And we are copying our script. Doesn't work. Mark it again, copy it, throw it again there. Here we go. Just launch that. And it's beginning to download. Now it's extracting. And it's starting now. Now we have to enter the storage account name that contains the WVD profiles. We take this from our host pool, and it's the WVD profiles, this one. Let's copy this, paste it in here, enter, and now everything is registered. So this has been done through the script. This is pretty easy. You can automate that. If you want to do that manually, you can just use regedit. Browse to local machine, software, FSLogix. And on the profiles, there's everything that has been put in by the script right now. So you can see the VHD location, you can see the volume type, and you can see everything else that has been set by us. There's also an option you can do that with a tool that is found within the FSLogix folder. Just browse program files, FSLogix, apps, and then you can find it here. This is the configuration tool. And what you can see is everything, every values that we are putting in before are already been set here. So if you don't want to mess with the registry and want to set this manually, don't want to go in the registry, you can do it here, save that, and it will be automatically pushed to the registry. All right. So last but not least, we are trying out if everything works fine. So we disconnect from the host. And now we see, let's have a last look at our Special Desktop host pool. What we see is we have this for session host there, and wait, there's currently no session there. Why is the session host not displayed? Oh, here they are. And what you can see, the drain mode is on the first machine, on the second, on the third machine, and there on the fourth machine, it's the HP1 3. The drain mode is off, so if we connect with our client, then we should land here, and we should the profile will be created not on this machine, but on the storage account. Let's try this. So just connect. Enter the credentials. Now what you can see is, please wait for the FSLogix app services. So the user profile will be created within the storage account, and everything is being stored there. So there's no artifacts on the local machine that stay there, and everything is being stored in the storage account. So the user itself does not see any differences if the profile is not stored there. So everything that is stored within this user profile will be stored on the storage account itself. So let's see if everything works out in the storage account. I mean, it would have, if it wouldn't have worked, we wouldn't have seen the FSLogix prompt there. But we can see what happens in the storage account. If we browse the storage account now, and log into the file services, the profile section, then you can see this is the directory, and this is the profile from our WVD user 1. So this is the end of the FSLogix installment.